Broadcasting to millions from WebmasterRadio.fm's world headquarters.
WebmasterRadio.fm proudly presents the longest-running program on affiliate marketing. Welcome to Affiliate Buzz. Our hosts, James and Arlene Martell, are here to inspire, inform, and motivate you with expert insight, interviews, and information that will increase your bottom line. Advance your affiliate marketing efforts every week on Affiliate Buzz. Now, please welcome James and Arlene.
Yes, it is James Martell here, and welcome to edition number 492 of the Affiliate Buzz, where we've been keeping affiliates inspired, informed, and motivated to succeed with affiliate programs since way back in 2003. If you happen to be joining us live here today at WebmasterRadio.fm, it's great to have you with us. If you're joining us through a podcast on your smartphone, tablet, computer, or Wi-Fi radio, a very special welcome to you as well. Arlene is away today. However, not to worry, I am here with Marc Mawhinney, who is the talent and the developer of the Natural Born Coaches coaching program and podcast, and the very popular Facebook community aptly called the Coaching Jungle. And today we're going to be talking with Marc about how to build, grow, and monetize a Facebook group with joint ventures and affiliate partnerships. And I'm really looking forward to dig in because I've had the opportunity to watch Marc grow his Facebook group from zero to just, as I understood from just a call a few minutes ago, to just over 10,000 members. Now, Marc's a lifelong entrepreneur who's on a mission to help coaches build successful businesses. He's achieved this with his Natural Born Coaches coaching program and a podcast of the same name, his own personal podcast, The Marc Show, at themarcshow.com, of course, his Facebook group, The Coaching Jungle, and his exclusive print newsletter entitled Secret Coach Club. Marc makes frequent media appearances and is a contributor for Entrepreneur.com. Marc, welcome to the Affiliate Buzz.
Hey, James. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's good to have you on. I know we've had a chance to chat a few times, or a couple of times on my other show, Podcasting Mastery, and it's always great to have you on. But we haven't had you on
You're talking to me more than Arlene lately between joint webinars and podcast interviews we've been doing.
Absolutely true. You got that right, and it's been a pleasure to do so. Why don't you take a minute for the benefit of our listeners on the Buzz here? Tell us a little bit about your background, and let's start there. Sure.
Well, I've been coaching. I'm now in my 5th year, so I'm a grizzled old veteran in the coaching world, but really I like to think myself as still fairly young. So I've been doing that for, like I said, I'm in my 5th year. And before that, I spent over a decade in real estate. So throughout my 20s and into my 30s, I was in real estate here on the East Coast of Canada, and then transitioned over into coaching. And that's how we got where we're at today.
Now, your Facebook group or Facebook community, as some call it, you'd mentioned that just before we got on the call here that you started that just a little bit over 2 years ago. Take us back to that, when you were just starting it, where you were at with your business at that point, and why you decided to start a Facebook group.
Sure. So I started the Coaching Jungle in the late fall of 2015. So we're at almost 2.5 years. And at that point, I was, probably about 2 years into my business, roughly. Now, I did have a Facebook group before that, and you may have even been in the old group, because I had a Facebook group for past guests of my podcast, Natural Born Coaches. And my show now is up to 540 some episodes released. But back then, we were at probably a couple hundred because it was a daily show. And make a long story short, the reason I started the Coaching Jungle was I had this group for past guests of my podcast, and I kept getting all these requests from coaches asking to join it, not noticing that the name of it was Natural Born Coaches Past Guests, right? They just saw coaches and they thought they would request to join it. So I had to send a whole bunch of messages. I had a copied and pasted thing to save me time. Hey, sorry, I know you want to join my group, but this is only for people who've been on my podcast. So basically you can't join. And after enough of that, I thought, you know what, this is kind of silly. I should have a group that's for any coaches, not just ones who've been guests on my show. And that's where the Coaching Jungle came about. And I ended up shutting down the other Facebook group to focus solely on the Coaching Jungle. And so instead of having a group with 300 and some coaches, now I've got a group with over 10,000 members in there. So I think it was a good move.
So when you decided to pull a trigger on that, what were some of the things that you were learning as you got started with that?
In terms of Facebook groups?
Yeah, in terms of Facebook groups and getting that rolling.
I think it helped to have the previous group because I was comfortable with Facebook groups, but I made a commitment to myself. I said, you know what, I'm really going to, I guess to use the language of Grant Cardone, I'm going to 10x it with this new group when it comes to activity in the group and everything else. So I made a commitment that, hey, I'm going to treat this like my baby. I'm going to put a lot of effort into it. And right from day one, I was always very active in the group. Even, I mean, here we are today, a couple years later, I was posting 4 times so far today. So I'm in that group a lot, posting. And I think what I learned from growing the group up to this point is that you can't just kind of set it and forget it. Like a lot of people think, oh, I'll just open up a group and it'll take off on its own. And it won't. It is really your baby, and you have to make sure that you're putting that effort into it. Because if you're not putting the effort into it as a group owner, then why should anyone else engage and participate in the group if you're not putting the energy into it?
Yeah, makes sense. What now, as far as your group goes, what would you say the biggest thing they get out of it? Like, what does it solve for them?
Well, they get a lot of value in there, even if they don't become a client of mine. I mean, obviously that's a goal. In a perfect world, as many people as possible will whip out their wallets and invest in my programs and my products, and because that's good for me and them. But even if they don't do that, they're still going to get a lot of value. When you look at what's going on in that group with the questions being answered, when people post questions on the wall and all the comments and all the advice, I've had a lot of people say to me, Marc, I get more from your group than I do from paid programs. So thank you for that. And I love hearing those things. So that's the approach I take. It's not a place where they're just getting pitched stuff constantly like an infomercial, although I'm sure we'll get into this. I do sell to my group. I think as a group owner, that's your right. But I also think you have to provide value to have that privilege to also sell to them. And if you're providing a good, valuable community, they'll let you sell to them because they're getting enough from it for free. They understand that, hey, you're in business. So it works out really well.
So let's talk about content. You said you've posted 4 times today. Give us just a little snapshot of the time that you take on, maybe on a daily basis, and then the types of content that you post.
Sure. So 1 or 2 of the posts are cheating, I say. And when I say that, what I mean is I do a daily theme post. Every morning at 8 o'clock Eastern time, the post goes up. And that's the only post I use a scheduler for on Facebook, by the way. I don't like using schedulers on Facebook because I think it throttles how many people are seeing it, when Facebook sees that it's coming from a scheduler. Mm-hmm. But for the theme days, they go out like clockwork from the scheduler every morning. So that's one of the posts right there, and that's 7 days a week. And those are great to get the engagement going. So like, for example, we have a Monday fan page sharing day where you can share your Facebook fan page and everyone likes everyone's pages. Tuesday's Survival Tips Tuesday, where you share a tip that can help people with their coaching business. Wednesdays, Ask a Question, and so on. So the theme day is one of the posts. Usually I will, one of the other posts in the morning is I send a daily email to my list. I've been doing that for a couple of years to my email list. Yes. I'll copy that over into my Facebook group as well. And I do that almost every day with the email that goes out. So right there's 2 of my posts. And then I'll send out, I'll put up a few other posts, but I don't sit in there, and you have to be really careful with Facebook groups. You could be in there 24/7 if you allowed yourself to be. So I'm getting better at posting stuff and then closing out my Facebook window, get my work done, and then check back in a little bit. So it's not Facebook all day long. But I mean, just before we hopped on this interview, I put a post up talking about how much I hate getting to know you calls. I know people say, oh my God, he sounds horrible. But you probably get this, James, where people reach out to you with vague, like, hey, James, I'd love to connect on Skype and get to know you better. Or I'd love to chat with you about something. I put a post up about that. So I guess you could say I was ranting. Sometimes I'll put up a poll to get Facebook groups are the best market research you have right there. So if I ever want to know something, I put up a poll. I ask the group. So I'll put up podcast interviews for my 2 shows. I'll share them in there, and I'll just share what's on my mind. So I like to have fun with it. It's not, I say the number one rule with content in Facebook groups is don't be boring. You got to be interesting and have some fun with it.
Yeah, don't be boring. It's classic. So now I'm here with Marc from Natural Born Coaches and the Coaching Jungle. And after a real quick break, I'm going to ask Marc to dig in and talk about monetizing a Facebook group, or I guess we could also call it a Facebook community. We'll do that and more right after the break.
More Affiliate Buzz coming up after we hear from our sponsors.
Are you looking for the best in WordPress speed, security, and scalability? WP Engine is a digital experience platform for WordPress, powering digital experiences for large brands around the world. With easy-to-use site management tools and powerful do-it-your-way development features, WP Engine gives you the flexibility to build it your way. Improve your SEO and conversion rates with a faster site on WP Engine. Learn more on WPEngine.com.
Catholic Charities is committed to providing life's basic needs.
We thank you for bringing us all here today, letting these people understand how Catholic Charities runs and how important these people are. And we ask you to guide them, to protect them, and keep them here forever because this community needs them.
Visit www.catholiccharitiesusa.org to learn more.
Looking for a better way to get more traffic and interaction to your Facebook page? Imagine Facebook interactivity on your page like you've never seen. Introducing your new Facebook marketing fix, So Social, the new and revolutionary way to easily manage and automate your Facebook contests and sweepstakes. Create a fun, easy-to-win contest by writing a simple Facebook post. Watch your post go more viral and generate loads of interaction. Track your traffic and generate email lists with ease. So Social is mobile-friendly and complies with Facebook terms of service. Let So Social give your Facebook page some flash today. Zoom over to zosocial.com.
Webmasterradio.fm. We're everywhere. Find our shows on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher, and anywhere you download your podcasts. Pick out some new favorite podcasts now.
Time now to hear some more Affiliate Buzz on webmasterradio.fm. Here's James and Arlene.
Arlene is away today. However, I'm here with Marc of Natural Born Coaches and the Coaching Jungle. Now, Marc, you said something very interesting. You said if you provide good content, they don't mind you selling to them. Elaborate on that a little bit.
Well, a lot of Facebook group owners are scared of their members. They're very hesitant to do anything that comes across as selling. And this isn't just with Facebook groups. This applies to email lists and probably lots of other things. Oh my God, yeah, everywhere. There's a sense, this really bad advice that's floating around that you have to nurture relationships. And I hear this in email marketing all the time too. It's no, you can't sell it all. You got to send 50 emails without even mentioning that you're in business to build a stronger relationship. Then you've earned the right to make an offer. And the way I look at it is that it's the same thing as people going into a store. People go into a store because they have a need for something, whether it be buy a pair of shoes, get an oil change for their vehicle or whatever. When I go in to get my oil change for my vehicle, I don't want them nurturing the relationship. It's like, just get the oil change done. That's why I'm coming in here, right?
Yes.
And it's the same way with Facebook groups. People are in that group and they're in there. Not all of them. They're not all at that point where they're ready to invest to get that help, but a lot of them are. So you can't be hesitant. You have to be confident and put your services out there to help people. And I always say that you have to sell to help. And I'm a big believer in that. So you won't get nearly as much blowback as you think you will by putting out some offers, as long as it's not like a 24/7 infomercial where it just sounds like Ginsu knives, get a free toaster if you buy now. But if you ever look at the posts that I make in my group and other successful group owners as well, they're weaving in offers as well. So I'll put up a post that's giving value. It's teaching something. It's giving a lesson. Then I'll say near the end of it, by the way, I teach more about this in my blank program. Check out the link in the comments if you want to see. So it's not a heavy sales pitch, but even when I do a Facebook Live in the group, I'll often then transition over into an offer, and I've gotten a fair number of clients that way.
Yeah. Interesting. You know, this whole area of being scared to sell to people has always been a puzzle to me, because I've discovered that people love to spend money. I mean, people love to pull their credit cards out. They love to spend money. I don't know why there's this hesitation to think that somebody's going to be offended when you say, "Hey, grab your credit card."
Yeah. Well, and those are the type of people I don't want to work with anyways. If they get offended by me, like, shocker, spoiler alert, I'm in business. If you get offended by that, you're not my ideal client. I'd rather not have you in the group.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion. I've gotten really good with chasing the wrong clients, I say, off my front lawn. I'm kind of like Clint Eastwood in that. It was a Gran Torino with the shotgun. I'm the crotchety old Clint Eastwood on the front lawn chasing the kids away. But that's how you have to be, because I can't work with 10,000 people anyways, right? I just don't have the bandwidth. I'm looking for my ideal clients there. But what's happened is the Facebook group has really become the top of my funnel. It's kind of the feeder where that's the first way that people are often introduced to me. And then from there, a number of them filter down and become paying clients or customers who'll buy my online programs.
Yeah. So talk about the ways that you monetize, obviously, your program. So elaborate a little bit on that. And then let's talk about joint ventures and then affiliate programs.
Sure. So, well, I'll give you an example. I'm filling up a group program right as we speak. It's called 10 Clients in 90 Days. Don't worry, I'm not selling on your show here, James.
Go ahead.
Well, and if anyone signs up now, they will get a free set of steak knives now. It's my group program, and I'm actually filling that up. We've sold 2 out of the 6 spots, and both spots were filled from the group. We just started advertising it. I started talking about it a couple days ago. So that's being done directly from the group. Right now, I always like to focus on one thing. So it might be a case where 2 weeks I'll talk about my group program heavily. And then usually the last 2 weeks of the month, I talk a lot about my print newsletter, Secret Coach Club, because it's going to press at the end of every month. So I really put a heavy push, especially the last week or 2 of the month. I'm really pushing the print newsletter. So I don't like to throw in 3 or 4 different things, and keep moving them around. I like to consistently bang the same drum when I'm promoting something. I like to talk about it. So you and I did a joint webinar there a little while back. Thank you. You did one on outsourcing. I talked constantly about my joint webinar, the training with James Martell. I wasn't bouncing around 10 different things.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. No, that was actually fun to do, and we should do some more of those. Talk about your print newsletter, because that's something that we don't see at least I haven't run across that idea very often.
Oh, I love print newsletters. I think a lot more entrepreneurs should have them there for their offerings. And people don't do it because they think, oh my God, that I can't do that. It's so Stone Ages, right? I always joke around. I say I have some stone tablets in my backyard, and I carve the words in, and then I get some dinosaurs to haul them across the country in the world. It's worked really well. I launched it in March of 2017. And I've got a lot of subscribers that have come on, and I don't do any digital copies. It's a 16-page print newsletter physically delivered to your door. And people really like it because nowadays the only stuff you get delivered physically, it's either junk mail or bills, right?
Yeah.
And it's really special. It's probably the same way why these loot crates, those things kind of have taken off, because people like getting something that they can physically hold. So I've had some people say, well, hey, can you do a digital copy for me? And I say, no, I'm not doing digital for a couple of reasons. First of all, will then get sent around to people who aren't paying for it, which I don't want to do. Yeah. But it also ruins some of that mystique. And I do think people treat it more seriously where it's a digital copy a hard copy instead of digital. So I've had my subscribers say, Marc, every month right away, I open it up. I've got the highlighter out. I've got the pen. I'm marking it up. And I go back and read it a few times through the month as I'm implementing stuff. I don't think they would do it that much if it was a digital copy lost on their laptop.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Now, one of the things that we do, and we send out something similar, and this is something that we kind of stumbled across, and I guess the same thing would be, I mean, how many digital newsletters do I have in my inbox that I haven't opened right now? Probably, I bet you it'd be stunning. Probably 100. And we used to find the same thing with press releases. We'd send a press release out by email, and it'd be like crickets. Nothing would happen from it. And then I realized I was listening to one of the radio shows locally, and one of the hosts had just mentioned that he'd got an envelope. Somebody mailed him an actual letter, and he's like, he read it. And he's like, he's so impressed that somebody took the time. So we decided from now on, let's send our press releases in a brown envelope with everything they need in the envelope. And you know what? They get opened. 100 times more. So I can see how we're just on a side note, where can people learn more about your newsletter?
They could go to secretcoachclub.com. So secret, as in I have a secret, secretcoachclub.com. I have to say that out very slowly because of my strange Canadian accent. Some people thought I was saying Seeker Coach Club. They're like, Marc, your website's down. I went to Seeker Coach Club. I'm like, no, it's like, the Beatles. Do you want to know a secret? Secret Coach Club, but darn Canadian accent.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't think we had Canadian accents.
Oh, well, it's funny. I get people from the southern states and from like Alabama making fun of my accent and stuff. Yeah. And, oh, isn't that cute? Your accent, that's funny. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I get that. You must be Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you know that? Because I can tell by your accent.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's wild. Now, I'm here with Marc Mohini from Natural Born Coaches and the Coaching Jungle. And after our last break, we're going to keep talking about monetization and talk a little bit more about joint ventures and then, of course, affiliate programs. We'll do that right after the break.
More affiliate buzz coming up after we hear from our sponsors.
All of your favorite webmasterradio.fm programs on air and on demand 24/7. Find our shows on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher, and anywhere you download your podcasts. Add some podcasts to your playlist as part of a better profit margin. More refreshing talk radio on air and on demand 24/7. Only on webmasterradio.fm. We're everywhere.
Hello, I'm Hector Elizondo, and I want to talk to you about getting older. My body hurts, my joints ache, and sometimes I forget. I forget that doing all your own scenes for a movie isn't always the best decision, especially when you're galloping high speed on a horse named Archibello. So yes, my body hurts, but it's not because of my age. It's because I'm living my life.
Don't let life pass you by. Take care of your brain health. It may just help you stay on top of your game.
Oh, Archibello!
Learn more at brainhealth.gov.
Do you look at the task of ranking your site at the top of the search engines like you would climbing the top of Mount Everest? It doesn't have to be. TopSEOs.com knows how hard that climb can be, and they can make top ranking a reality. Top SEOs sends you to only the right search vendors and agencies that they know will work for you. Since 2002, TopSEOs.com has reviewed and researched the best search engine marketing agencies and solutions providers. Don't risk the cost of falling off the proverbial peak of search rankings. Let Top SEOs give you peace of mind. TopSEOs.com, the independent authority on search vendors.
Blog. Webmasterradio.fm. We're the talk of the town. Webmasterradio.fm. Thanks for listening. Webmasterradio.fm. We're everywhere.
Time now to hear some more affiliate buzz on webmasterradio.fm. Here's James and Arlene.
Arlene is away today. However, I'm here with Marc Mohini from Natural Born Coaches and the Coaching Jungle. Now, Marc, before we get into talk a little bit more about joint ventures and affiliate programs, I'd love for you to just share, maybe in 60 seconds, this idea of sending out a daily email. Because I know you talked about it on Podcasting Mastery. We've got some great feedback on that. And I know my listeners would benefit greatly from what you do there as well.
Oh boy, it's really challenging to limit it to 60 seconds. It's kind of like saying, what's a meaning of life? Keep it to a minute. But in a nutshell, I'm a huge fan of daily emails. Prior to when I started doing them, which was the spring of 2016, so it's been about 2 years. Prior to that, I got very little from my email. I did like other people, once a week, sometimes twice a week, maybe every 10 days. It wasn't consistent. And I started doing the daily emails back in early 2016, and it completely changed my email results. Now email is one of the big drivers for revenue for me. It builds such a strong relationship with people. And I know what's going on in people's heads right now. They're thinking, oh my God, people will be mad. I would unsubscribe if somebody emailed every day. But if you're sending entertaining, good emails, then people will actually look forward to them. Again, you're going to play Clint Eastwood and chase the wrong people off your front lawn, but you're going to keep the right ones. And then you're also going to have a call to action. Every email that I do, I have a call to action. It's not a heavy arm twist, but I do have a call to action. And I absolutely love daily emails. I'm constantly trying to get people onto that train. I think they're awesome. And it's going to take a bit of a shift mentally, because you're going to be thinking, oh, I'm going to annoy people and everyone will be mad at me. But I can tell you that I'll give a really quick example. AWeber's, who I use for my email, and a few months back, they had a tech glitch where all their emails in their system they were a few hours late going out. They had to work through some tech glitch. I had like 4 emails from people, because mine go out the same time of day, every day, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. Yeah. Within about an hour and a half when it normally went out, people were like, Marc, did you take me off your list? Your email didn't come through today. Like, what happened? And they're asking that because they're used to seeing it in the inbox the same time every day. So please just trust me on it. Daily emails work. I wouldn't have been sending so many emails I've sent the last 2 years daily if it didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, of course, we don't have time to get into what you send, but if listeners want to learn what you're doing, where do they subscribe?
Best spot, they can go to naturalborncoaches.com. That's my main site. Or they can go to themarcshow.com. That's Marc with a C, by the way, themarcshow.com. Either way, you'll get you on my list.
Let's talk about joint ventures and how you monetize your group with those.
Yeah. So joint ventures are huge. Like we mentioned, you and I had done one in my group there just recently. I've done some really good ones with Carl Bryan, who's a fellow British Columbian out your way. Great guy. And we do regular ones. And the key is to find somebody who offers something that's not exactly what you do, because you don't want to cannibalize your business, but find somebody that offers something that complements what you do, or something that can help your people, but it's not exactly what you do. So for example, you came in and taught my people about outsourcing, which is great because you're an expert on it. That's not my thing, but it helps my people who are coaches. So that's a great example, win-win. So I'm a big fan of doing them. Now, what I will say is it's better to do, I believe, do it with fewer people as opposed to just doing a different joint venture with a different person every week. You want to have high quality partners like yourself or like Carl or the other people that I use. So whenever I do a joint venture, I plug it really hard in the group. It's the pin post at the top of the group for, a good week before it actually it happens. And I'm talking about it to my group and to the email list and everything else. But they're very powerful if you do it the right way. So I would rather see people do fewer ones, but hammer them harder when they're promoting them, and make sure that your partners are good and they know what they're doing. I have done some joint ventures with people who weren't as prepared in the past, or they weren't as good. They didn't really convert, or the pricing wasn't right, or whatever. And it was just kind of a waste of time that way. So you got to pick good partners.
Yeah. Yeah. How about affiliate programs? How do you monetize your group with affiliate programs?
Well, it's interesting. I have an affiliate program for my online programs. So there's people in my group who have become affiliates for a few of my online programs, and then we do affiliate pushes and stuff. By having my group, what I do is some of the people have come in to do joint ventures. I will then go do trainings for their people as well. We kind of do a swap. So we're actually helping each other both ways. We're on both sides of the affiliate fence. So, I find a really good price point is, not, for me at least, if there's a product that's $500 to $1,000, like $497 to $997, they seem to sell really well. If people come in with a $5,000 type offering, it's a little bit tougher sell.
Yeah. I can see we're coming up against the clock. Take a minute or so, if you would, and tell our listeners how they can learn more. You've mentioned a few of the sites. Mention them again. And for those who have a pen handy or a notepad open, fire away.
Sure. Well, the best spot of the Facebook group, which we've been talking about, is The Coaching Jungle. And if you go to thecoachingjungle.com, that'll get you there. So you can check out what I'm doing. I'm in there a lot. Any questions, let me know. So thecoachingjungle.com. Naturalborncoaches.com is my main site. And then secretcoachclub.com is the print newsletter, or the marcshow.com is the solo podcast. So I've got plenty of websites. Naturalborncoaches.com will give you all the links if you don't want to crash your car while you're driving. So
there you go. Well, Marc, thanks for joining us today. Great to catch up, and I look forward to having you on again.
Yeah, well, thanks, James. I appreciate it.
I can see we are out of time. Keep in mind that if there's something you missed here that Marc mentioned today, including all the links to his sites, that we do keep all the show notes for you. And you'll find them for this particular episode at jamesmartell.com/AB492. And a final reminder that if you'd like to be alerted each week to new episodes, I invite you to subscribe to the Affiliate Buzz by sending a blank email. Take a second right now to affiliate_buzz@aweber.com. Marc, thanks again, and to our listeners, thanks for listening to another edition of the Affiliate Buzz.